we're living in a world where we have more science, we have more technology, we have more pharmaceutical medication today than ever before. So the real question we need to be asking is, why are people still so sick? And just last year, the Institute of Health Metrics in Seattle, they published an article in the Lancet of the Lancet Medical Journal. Okay, so this is a medical journal. And what this article said is a bad diet is 3 times more dangerous than smoking. Get that, 3 times more dangerous than smoking. And the way they quantified it is smoking is killing about 5 million people a year. And a bad diet is killing between 11 to 15 million people a year. And so what that's telling us is the things that we're putting into our breakfast bowls, into our kids' lunch boxes, onto our dinner plates is even more dangerous than smoking. Okay, and try and conceptualize that. That is a big statement to be making. And what they are saying is it's not only the bad things that are in our foods, but it's also the good nutrients that are lacking in our foods that are causing these problems. And these deaths are caused by chronic diseases such as heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. And these diseases are often referred to as non-communicable diseases because they are not contagious. So we are not passing these diseases around like the common colds or flu, we are developing them. Okay, and on one hand, I find that extremely scary that so many people are being affected by these things and we are developing them. They are lifestyle diseases. But on the other hand, I find that extremely motivating because if we are developing them, we can play some sort of role in preventing these diseases. And so we are clearly losing this battle against chronic disease. The World Health Organization projects that these diseases will grow by 10% globally over the next 10 years, with the biggest growth coming from Africa. 20%, these diseases are going to grow by 20% in Africa over the next 10 years. In fact, chronic disease will account for almost 3 out of 4 deaths. Okay, so these are some of the stats that are used to create this need. And if you have personal experience, if you have a family member or somebody close that fits into some of these scary stats, use that to try and personalize this, okay, to create the need. And then I'll go into what we call the energetic, tired, and sick graph. And I'm going to explain it to you. Let's say we're born at 0 and we are going to give ourselves 100 years, okay? And we are living in 3 zones there. The first 30 years of our life, we kind of live in the energetic zone. Any of you who have children in this lockdown period will understand what energy is all about. The next 30 years of our life, we kind of live in this, we bumble through this tired zone. And for the final 30 years of our life, we live in what is called the sick zone. And I look at that orange line and I go, man, that is depressing. I am not going to buy into that way of life for anything. Because let's be real, most people work for 40 years of their life to live out what we call the golden years. But these golden years are lived in various stages of sickness. And so either they don't have the body or the health to live the kind of life that they want to live, or they spend everything they've accumulated just trying to stay alive. And so, yes, we do have a lot of people that come to us that are on the sick zone, and we all know people that have had amazing results from our product, and some people have come to us in the sick zone and are now living back in the energetic zone, and these are just magnificent stories. But this is often the exception to the rule. Very often people come to us in the sick zone, and you know what? Sometimes it is too late. And so our real focus is talking to people in this tired zone. Remember, we are going to end this trend of chronic disease, not by helping all the sick people become healthy again, but helping people living in this tired zone, which I believe is probably the majority of our population. We're going to help people in this tired zone get back into this energetic graph zone. And people in this tired zone, they aren't sick. They maybe are living life with a little bit more stress. I know for sure husbands can be stressful. And every now and again, your wife can be stressful, I have no doubt. Kids can be stressful. A job can be stressful. Finances can be stressful. And it's very often, it's in this stage of our life that we are not eating as well as we should be. Maybe you're not getting down to the gym or not as active as much as we should be. But we're not sick. But it's at this time of our lives where we start to notice these little things that start to go on. We wake up in the morning and we're more tired than when we went to sleep. we go to the doctor or the nurse and they say, listen, you got to watch the blood sugar level, or you got to watch your cholesterol, or your blood pressure is a little bit high, or maybe you're putting yourself at risk because you're carrying a little bit too much weight. Like, but you're not sick. But these are just little warning signs and precursors as to the challenges and the next zone that you're about to enter. Okay, so this is about a good time for us to sit up and pay attention to what's going on and start giving our bodies the right nutrition or right nutrients so we can get back into the energetic zone. And what we want to tell you is, NeoLife, we believe that there is such a thing as living a life in this energetic zone, and there is such a thing as dying healthy. Imagine that. Now, the exciting part of that is look at what you regain of your life. And for me, that is surfing with my grandkids one day. That is riding mountain bikes, playing golf with my kids, my grandkids one day. And that journey doesn't start in 10 or 20 years from now. That journey starts today. Nutrition is a long-term game. When is a good time to start eating healthy and taking nutrition supplements? Yesterday. And if you didn't start yesterday, then today is a good time. Okay, so what I've done here is I've just spoken about this is the reality. This is what is going on for the majority of people. Okay, so we are creating the need. And the sad thing is that it's not uncommon for people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s to be diagnosed with these chronic diseases at younger and younger ages. And for people under the age of 50 to, it's not uncommon for people under the age of 50 to be on chronic medication. Okay, and I think that is just backing up what we are saying here. So the next thing, I'm going to talk about the problem. Why are these things happening? And I believe there are two key, there's a key reason. And one of these reasons is our diet. And the human food chain should look something like this. We should be getting physical activity and maintaining a good weight, but our diet should consist mainly of whole grain foods, followed by fruits and vegetables, proteins, and fats and sugars should be consumed the least. But let's have a look at the modern day reality. We are eating more fats and sugars in our modern day diets than we are proteins. Fruits and vegetables are not being consumed enough, and whole grain oils are barely being consumed. I can guarantee you, every single person on this call today, your diet is deficient in whole grain food, whole grain oils. And so what is that causing? Now I'm going into the quadrant 3. I'm going to talk about the trillion solution. Our bodies are made up of trillions and trillions of cells. Okay, and every one of these cells has a little membrane, this dark green band. And this membrane consists of oils, which we call lipids and sterols. Okay, these lipid and sterol oils are good fats, or they're good oils. And we get these oils from our grain foods. And so grain foods, we got to remember, grain foods have been a staple of the human food chain since the very beginning. And we eat these grain foods, and these grain foods are absorbed by the body, and they gravitate and they live in these cell membranes. And these oils keep the cell membrane nice and soft and permeable. So the nutrients that are transported through the blood system to every one of our cells in our bodies, these nutrients can be absorbed through the cell membrane into the cell. These nutrients are converted into energy and can be eliminated from the cell. Okay, that's how cells should work. And now your body is made up of trillions and trillions of cells, and your body is truly only as healthy as its cells. And let's think of, at conception, a single cell splits into two. 2 cells make 4, 4 make 8, 8 cells make 16, and so you go. Okay, and if you have kids right now, your kids are producing about 1 billion new cells every single day, and your cells are renewing and replacing themselves constantly. And so if you want a new body, the body sitting in your chair right now, within 5 to 7 years, every single cell in your body, now your skin cells, your heart cells, we're a bunch of cells that are stuck together. Every cell that currently makes up your body will be replaced over the next 5 to 7 years. Okay, so we need to make sure that our cells are very healthy. But what's going on is our diets are deficient in these grain oils. Okay, our diets are deficient in these grain oils. And the best way I can communicate this to you is by using a loaf of bread. Now think of a loaf of bread. When I was a kid, a loaf of bread would go moldy within 2 to 3 days. We can now have a loaf of bread sitting in our kitchen for a week. It no longer goes moldy, it goes stale, but it's not growing mold and going green and what it used to do. Okay, why? Because the food companies these days, something called modern day milling was produced, a mass milling procedure, which removes these grain oils. Okay, just think of a bag of rice. A bag of rice can sit in your grocery cupboard for weeks, if not months. You boil it up in 10 or 20 minutes and it's food. Rice should be a whole grain food. Why is it not going rancid anymore? Because they remove the grain oils from all of our grain foods. And they do this because they want to extend the shelf life of these foods. Now, remember, we're no longer living in a time where we grow our grain foods in our backyard and we mill them ourselves and we consume them over the next year within a few days. We're living in this global community. So these grains are being transported all over the continent, all over the world, and they can't go rancid. And so what the food companies do is they remove these grain oils to prolong the shelf life of these grain foods. Okay, but this is having a devastating effect on our health because these grain oils have been a staple of the human food chain since the very beginning. But now we are no longer getting these grain oils in our diet. And so our bodies say, okay, no problem. Our bodies are very resourceful. Our bodies go to the next available source of fats. And our diets are abundant in bad fats. All of our processed foods are abundant in these bad fats. An example of a bad fat, let's say you cook a piece of meat, a chop, in a pan, and you leave that pan out overnight. What happens to that fat? That fat solidifies, it goes white. It's not a dynamic fat, it's a bad fat. And so now we have all these bad fats that are absorbed and living in our cell membranes, and our cell membranes are just going hard and impermeable. Okay, so the nutrients that are being transported to every one of our cells in our body, these nutrients are no longer efficiently getting into the cells, okay, and the toxins are no longer efficiently getting out of these cells. So the first thing that happens is we stop processing nutrition efficiently, okay? And if you think of that energetic, tired, sick graph, we stop processing nutrition efficiently, so we start to feel a little bit tired and a little bit lethargic. Take it a step further, these toxins will build up in the cell membrane because they're not being released, and eventually they will compromise the health or the integrity of that cell, and that cell becomes what we call a sick cell. One sick cell will make two sick cells. Two sick cells will make four. Four will make 8. You won't even notice it, but this process will happen. We'll continue to grow, and that might turn into a health challenge that is a little bit more sinister and that you do not want in your life. And so what is the solution? Okay, it's virtually impossible to get the grain oils that you require in the modern day diet. And so the only solution I know to this challenge is a product called NeoLife. NeoLife is the first and still the only nutrition company on the planet to produce a pure whole grain oil supplement. Our scientists discovered and picked up on this challenge decades ago when the modern day milling process started affecting humans. Our scientists produced a product called NeoLife, which is a pure whole grain oil supplement. A NeoLife bottle of 120 capsules, we use 58 kilograms of raw organic grain foods, and we extract these grain oils and nothing else, none of the gluten or all of that stuff, only these pure lipid and steroid oils we extract in a nitrogen environment, and we put them into a capsule. Okay, and so you can take 1, 2, or up to 3 of these capsules a day to plug your whole grain deficiency in your diet. Okay, and I call this product a non-negotiable because this is the real core baseline nutrition, because when you get your cellular nutrition right, so many other challenges take care of themselves. First of all, this product is proven to improve your nutrient utilization efficiency by 50% or more. Okay, so if you're eating a healthy diet, you're going to start absorbing more of that nutrition. Because remember, if your cells aren't working correctly, you're going to eliminate so much of those good nutrients if you're not able to absorb them. You're going to start eliminating the toxins from your body. And very often people take this product, and I've had many new customers say to me, Drew, I'm getting a headache. And I say, great, keep going. Just drink a lot of water, because all that means is that your body is flushing out the toxins. And I've heard so many stories around this NeoLife product. Once you get your cells working correctly, there are many, many positive knock-on effects. And so when you're presenting this to people, if you have had a positive story on NeoLife, or if you know somebody in your team or know somebody else who has had a positive story, borrow their story and share their story in your presentation. Okay, so let's walk up this food triangle. So we know the trend end story. What about your fruits and vegetables? Fruits and vegetables are an incredibly important part of our diets. Fruits and vegetables give our bodies things called carotenoids or antioxidants. And these are our protector nutrients that we get from fruits and vegetables that are very deep in color, like your strawberries, your tomatoes, your red bell peppers, your peaches, your apricots, your plums, your kales, your broccolis. Okay, and these nutrients are antioxidant nutrients. Okay, and there's two great evils going on in the body right now. We have oxidation and inflammation. And these two things are the root causes of cancer and heart disease and many other challenges we are experiencing. Okay, so we're going to talk about the antioxidants. Fruits and vegetables, they protect our bodies. They protect your brain. They protect your heart. They boost your immunity. And your immunity is not only your first line of defense against a common cold or flu, your immunity protects you from so many other things. And I remember when I was at school, we were taught to eat 5 a day to keep the doctor away. The latest nutrition science is saying that we should be eating 12 to 14 portions of fruits and vegetables every single day. Okay, now I certainly don't eat that many, and I don't know anybody who does. First of all, you'd be grazing all day. And second of all, it's expensive. And so there is a gap in our diet. And in the modern day world, the reality is we're eating less fruits and vegetables. But why do we have to eat more? Because fruits and vegetables are no longer grown in soils that are fertile and nutrient. They're very often picked before they're ripe. They're cold stored. They ripen using chemical gases. So a lot of the fruits and vegetables that we're eating are deficient in the nutrients. And so the reality is we have to eat more fruits and vegetables to get the same amount of nutrition we used to get. But we are in fact eating less fruits and vegetables today than we used to. Okay, so you can see there's a nutrient gap in our diet. And if you live with this nutrition gap for long enough, you are going to run into a major health challenge. Not today, maybe not next year or in 5 years' time, but give it enough time, you will run into a challenge. So we need to find a way to plug this nutrition gap. And there's only one way that I know how to do that. And that is through a product called carotenoid complex. NeoLife has produced a product that is the first of its kind, and nobody has matched this product to this day. To make a bottle of carotenoid complex 90 capsules, we use 115 kilograms of raw organic fruits and vegetables in every single bottle. We extract all these antioxidant or carotenoid nutrients from these fruits and vegetables at a nitrogen environment and put it into a capsule. And so you can take 1, 2, or 3 of these capsules a day to plug this dietary gap. Now, we were awarded a patent on this product. That's how unique this technology is. And this product was independently tested by the United States Department of Agriculture and proven that this product will boost the human immune function by 37% in just 20 days. Okay, so like I said, your immunity isn't only your first line of protection against a common cold or flu. This is your long-term chronic disease protector. Okay, this is your antioxidant protector. Then what about your protein? Our bodies are made up of water and protein. Protein plays a role in every single function of the body. Every single function that goes on in the body requires protein. Now, every protein molecule is made up of 22 amino acids. Okay, and the issue we are having is the modern day protein that we are eating in our diets has been compromised. What we do to our chicken, what we do to our eggs, our beef, our meat, it's borderline criminal. And our protein quality is no longer good. So we are eating protein, but our protein is no longer made up of all 22 amino acids. Okay, so NeoLife has produced, and think of a protein like an alphabet. If there are 26 letters in an alphabet, let's take out 10 letters out of that alphabet. How many words in a dictionary would you not be able to spell? And the same with your body. If you aren't getting all 22 amino acids, there's many little functions that your body won't be able to do. And again, you won't even notice that this is going on for a year, 2 years, 10 years, But eventually, if this process is breaking down for long enough, you will run into a health challenge that is a little bit more sinister, and you don't want part of your life. And so we need to find a way to plug this dietary gap. And the only way I know how to do it is through the NeoLife protein shake called NeoLife Shake. Okay, NeoLife has a number of shakes. We have the NeoLife Shake, we have the Nutri Shake, and we have the Sports Performance Protein. They're all incredible, and they're all fit under what I'm talking about now. Okay, I know there are many other shakes on the market. So why the NeoLife Shake? Because this is the only shake that I've come across that contains all 22 amino acid protein. This shake has been scientifically proven to be incredibly digestible. It has a very good protein digestibility score. So when you take the protein, it's very highly absorbed. Every protein shake has, I challenge anybody to give me a plate of food that has the same amount of nutrition as one protein shake. Every shake has all the vitamins and minerals that you would find in a healthy meal. It has all the 22 amino acids, 18 grams of protein, and it has 5 grams of fiber. It also is glycemic controlled, so it balances your blood sugar levels, and so it gives you sustained energy. It forms part of our weight management program. If you want to lose weight, if you don't want to lose weight, you can still take this product, because if you're losing weight, you need to eat it, you take it in conjunction with an eating program. But this is just a fantastic way to plug your protein gap. And on any of these products, if you have experienced a personal story, share your story. On this protein shake, I lost 8 kilograms. About 6 years ago, I lost 8 kilograms. And it took me 3 months. And I don't take this product to lose weight anymore, but I take this product every breakfast. This is my meal replacement at breakfast time, because it makes me feel great. And this is my maintenance plan. This is how I keep the weight that I want to keep. And if I take this product at breakfast, it gets me all the way through to lunchtime. Whereas if I have a cereal or a muesli or a porridge, by mid-morning, I'm starving and I want to eat again. And then your fats and sugars. And by the way, this protein has been proven to be cardioprotective, will lower your body mass index, and will reduce your body fat. It's a good product. And then finally, fats and sugars. Eat less bad fats and less sugars. Okay, that's a responsibility you need to take on. But there's another product which is just so important, and that is omega-3. Okay, and omega-3 is another oil that I believe we all need to be taking. Omega-3 is good for the brain, it's good for the heart, it's good for your joints, it's good for the viscosity of your blood. For the men on this call, it's good for your prostate. Okay, and so omega-3 is a great all-arounder. If you want to remember your name one day, make sure you're taking omega-3. If you love your heart, make sure you're taking omega-3. It has many, many benefits, but one of the biggest benefits, it's nature's most powerful anti-inflammatory. And remember, I said earlier, the 2 greatest evils that are causing majority of chronic disease is oxidation and inflammation. Okay, and so we have this chronic inflammation problem going on. The modern day diet is rich in omega-6 oils and omega-9 oils. And I know these oils are important, but it's been proven that we are getting too many of them through our modern day foods, our cooking oils, and our modern day diets. And so we need to find a way to reduce the amount of omega-6s and 9s we're getting in, and then increase the amount of omega-3s we are getting in. So I believe it's important that everybody on planet Earth is supplementing with omega-3. If you're not eating 3 portions of fatty fish, tuna, mackerel, salmon, anchovy every week, you need to be taking omega-3 supplementation. Okay, and so this will reduce your inflammation. And I know there's no other nutrition company that does a pure whole grain oil supplement. There's no other company that does a complete antioxidant carotenoid supplement. There's no other product that has a complete 22 amino acid protein supplement. But if you're going to have a look in the supermarket or the pharmacies, you'll find 101 other omega-3 supplements. So why NeoLife? Because NeoLife's Salmon Oil Plus is absolutely unique. We can give you the genetic code of every fish we use. Okay, by knowing the genetic code, we know what fish that fish has been eating. By knowing what that fish has been eating, we have a good idea of where that fish has been swimming in the ocean. And we only source our fish from the most unpolluted parts of the ocean that have been proven. We take the fillet of the fish, so we don't use the brain, we don't use the organs, we only use the fillet of the fish. We cold press that fillet and we test to get the oil, and then we test for over 200 contaminants. The nutrition industry says that a nutrition company needs to test for 96 contaminants. And we're saying, hang on, what about the other 104 contaminants that we really don't want to be putting in our body? So sometimes it's not only about what's in the product, it's also about what's not in the product. And so our product is ultra pure. Okay, so it's very, very pure. But here's the other thing. When omega-3 was first discovered, scientists discovered two molecules that make up omega-3, the EPA and the DHA. These are the two key molecules, good for your brain, good for your heart. But science has discovered another 6 molecules. So in total, there are 8 molecules that make up an omega-3. And based on our philosophy of based in nature, backed by science, once science discovered this, our scientists went about, said about creating an omega-3 that has all 8 of these omega-3 molecules. And that's important because what they've also discovered is omega-3 is absorbed in a chain reaction process. And if your body is lacking one of those omega-3 molecules, now remember, your body can't make omega-3, you got to be eating it, then that absorption process is severely compromised. NeoLife Salmon Oil Plus is the only omega-3 supplement on the planet today that can guarantee and quantify all 8 of these molecules in every single capsule. Okay, so that is really, really important stuff to know. Okay, so what is the solution? Our solution is what we call the breakfast pack. And we have a product called Pro Vitality. Okay, and in each Pro Vitality box, there are 30 sachets. And in every sachet, there are 4 vitamins. The first one is your TrueNN, your grain oil, your base to your healthy eating triangle. Get your cellular nutrition sorted out, get your cells healthy. The second one is our carotenoid complex, which will boost your immunity by 37%. And this is your antioxidant protection. The third one is your omega-3 supplement. Okay, this is your anti-inflammatory. Get your brain working right, get your heart protected, your anti-inflammatory protection. And the fourth one is your multivitamin. This contains a cross-section of your vitamins and minerals that your body requires. And so this little pack right here is the most powerful and potent nutrition pack you're going to find on this planet. And it's convenient. And I'm all about convenience. And you keep this in your kitchen or keep it in your drawer at work, or pop it in your handbag, and you take one of these sachets every single day, and you are plugging those gaps in your food triangle. Add to that is our NeoLife shake, and supplementing one meal a day with a NeoLife shake will sort out that protein deficiency that we have, and it will also get your blood sugars levels on the right zone, and will just get your body burning fat for energy. It's just a great thing to do. And so this is our breakfast pack solution. And I truly believe that if we get a box of Pro Vitality and a can of NeoLife shake into every home, we have made big strides in making this world a healthier and a happier place.